So everybody, my name's Janet Urban. I'm the founder of Friends on Film, and I lead a group of 400 professionals all over the world who I've helped get into the film industry for the craft that they want to do. I've been in the film industry for 22 years. I'm a sound mixer. I'm head of the sound department. And the film industry, I can tell you, has given me a life beyond my dreams. I've traveled the world working in film, and you will too if you want to. And I even won an Emmy for National Geographic. And today I primarily work in commercials here in Los Angeles, which is why you don't see me on IMDb. They don't track that on IMDb. I went from entry level to the highest level there is, which is union commercials and feature films in 2 years. You guys, that is really fast. It takes most people 15 plus years, and some people never even make it. So you guys probably know this by now, that I'm somebody who's always trying to do things better and faster, as are a lot of you guys. And I love learning from people who are at the top of their game. So over these years, I've talked to a lot of directors, producers, DPs, and actors, people who have also moved quickly. And what I'm sharing with you today is what we've all done to be successful. Now, I turned it into a framework. And today I'm going to share that framework with you so that you can see how you can get started and make relationships yourself to move up really fast in your craft. That's the whole point. So we've got actors here, we got writers here, we got DPs, directors, stunts, all the crafts are here. And we've got people from all over the United States, London, Canada, and Australia. And by the way, those are all very busy markets for film. London, Sydney, Toronto, Vancouver, and you'd be surprised, there's some very busy markets all over the United States. So the film industry is the same all over the world. And these methods of getting booked that I'm sharing with you today, they work in the UK, Canada, and Australia, and obviously they work all over the United States as well. So scripted TV, it is booming, you guys. That makes this a really good time to really implement these methods. It's a great time to work in film. So we've got Apple TV, we've got Netflix, we got Hulu, we got Amazon, HBO, we got BBC. Everybody's shooting, and they're doing a lot more than they've done in the past, and they need people for these shoots. So that's good. Good news. There are two primary obstacles that people are running into. Number one, people can't get the doors to open to make the career out of what they want to do. And two, they have lots of uncertainty about how to do this. So I'm going to ask everybody here, how long have you been trying? Put your hands up, the people that I can see anyway. And maybe, since everybody seems to be working, and a lot of people are not showing their cameras, which is fine, yeah, just put it in the chat like Omar did. How long have you been trying? Less than 1 year? Well, again, I can't see you, so except for G. I see G, I see Hannah. Okay, since 2014. So we got people a couple of years, less than 1 year, between 2 to 5 years. Okay, most people are between 2 to 5 years, and then we've got some people, Katie, more than 8 years. Okay, so let me just tell you that you're in the right place today if you don't know where to get started or what to do to turn your dream into reality. Today will be important to you if you know that your 9-to-5 job is not what you want, and you want to finally give yourself permission to create a life that's going to fulfill you. And today will help you if you want a career in film, but you're not sure if there's enough work happening in your market. I can tell you in most cases, you guys, there is. You simply won't know about all the shoots that are happening around you because they're not really visible until you're getting called for this work. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. You're also in the right place if you're less than 100% confident in your ability to compete in your craft. You're going to see how to get professional work in your craft, acting, writing, stunts, directing, editing, and so on, without coming across as desperate or feeling like you're bothering people. Today's training will help you if you don't want to be perceived to start at the bottom as an intern or a PA. Don't worry, I got your back today if that's you. And you're also in the right place if you love the opportunity to learn your craft from professionals instead of paying to learn through classes. We are all about doing instead of sitting in a class. I have a promise for you, and that promise is pretty simple. You're going to learn a lot today, and none of it is based on theory. Everything you're going to learn has been implemented by thousands of A-listers around the world every day. In fact, we've got people working with Spielberg, Scorsese, on big feature films like First Man with Ryan Gosling and TV shows like Gotham, Pinewood Studios in London, as well as in Atlanta. And every day, our people are doing these methods that you'll learn today. These methods work. I started where you're at, you guys. No connections, no experience. Everybody on the case study page pretty much started from ground zero as well. And now they're living the film lifestyle, traveling around the world for jobs, every day living their most interesting lives, and most importantly, feeling fulfilled with what they're doing finally for a living. Here's what I know will happen. You're going to change your approach for how you get your career going. Many of you guys are going to want to take this much further because you're going to realize how close you are to transitioning out of your day job and going 100% into film, this time for real. And all that's been happening is the right training and tools. So if that's you, all good, because inside this strategy call, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest mistakes preventing you from getting professional work. You're also going to learn my 5-part framework for setting yourself up for consistent work, so much that you're overbooked, where you cannot do all the work that comes in. Now, I don't know if it just feels like that I'm just saying this, but this is what happens. This is a good problem to have. This is what's going to happen for you, because this framework, it's like magic, and you got to do it, you got to work it, but it works. I started with no experience, knowing nobody. I used my vectoring method to get into documentaries, promos, behind the scenes, to move into TV shows and commercials. I won an Emmy for National Geographic, and now I'm one of the most in-demand sound mixers in Los Angeles, working on big budget shoots every single week. I got one coming up this Thursday. I started A-List because I wanted to create a mastermind of top film professionals. That's what this is. I started teaching how I get the work and have moved up inside the industry, and it's spread like wildfire. So now we have people all over the world, and for those who want to come to LA, we do these A-List mastermind parties. Here's one that we did last summer. California Pool Party. We also do events. We look at art. Here we are at the Getty Center in Los Angeles. And here are just some of the celebrities I worked with last year. You will work with celebrities all the time too because, well, it's the film industry. Matt Damon 2 months ago, Taylor Swift 3 months ago, Seth Rogen a whole bunch of times. Keep working with Seth Rogen. So like most of us, growing up, I wanted to be somebody amazing. My dad was an auto mechanics teacher. My mom worked in the underwear department at Shopko. The big question was, how can you guarantee yourself a good life? I worked very hard, you guys. I got an internship at IBM, and when I graduated college, it was devastating because they didn't want me. And it was embarrassing. And now that I look at it, it was such a good thing. For me, life after college was a disappointment. I'd watch soap operas so I could turn off my mind. Life was spent in the office, trying to sell copiers, and the basement cafeteria. One day I realized the coffee and the donut was the highlight of my day. And I could see myself 10 years in the future, same job, selling copiers, eczema on my hands from the stress. Not healthy, married to somebody mediocre, disappointed with no options to change it. After all that college, you guys, the hard work that I did, this is what I got. And this is what I wanted. And I'd never seen anything like this before, but I knew there was more out there. So I quit my job, I cashed in my retirement, and I bought a round the world ticket. I traveled for 2.5 years, places like Eastern Europe, Indonesia, all over the Far East, Middle East. Then I came to Africa. There, I had a breakthrough. Could I work for National Geographic? Never thought of it before. Never thought about the film industry. But the question was, how? Luckily for you, you won't have to travel the world just to find out how to break into the film industry. You got me for that. And most of you already know that you want to work in film. But for me, I had to do some soul searching to figure that out. Anyway, the story continues. Was I being ridiculous? I didn't know anybody who worked in film. Everybody at home thought I was being totally unrealistic. I didn't have an option to go back to school because I could not take on more debt. No way. I gave it my best shot. I tried going to film festivals, okay? I'm like, well, where do I go? Where do you meet these people? Film festivals. But I only met struggling filmmakers. I worked for free, but that didn't lead to anything. I simply didn't know what to do. I sent emails to professionals, and I got no response. I had no real experience to put on a resume. I would try to pick people's brains. Maybe you've done this too. Trying so hard with no results was driving me crazy. It was tough. I'd get so nervous right when I needed to be confident. How do you get paid jobs when you don't have experience? That was my big question. And how do you get experience if you can't get paid jobs? You know, that's a catch-22. So you want to be seen in a good light, but what do you do when nothing that you do impresses the people that are going to hire you? Here's what I've seen that doesn't work. Okay, spending money on classes feels good at the time, but it doesn't lead to anything. Must be on set, not in a class. Being seen as an intern when you should be a professional. Sending your reel and resume to production companies doesn't work because they got their people. Looking for shoots to apply to when professional shoots are not posted. Everybody's hired from within, so you must get on people's lists to work on professional shoots. Wasted years working on freebie shoots. Yes, people do this. Years pass and you're no further along in your career except you're a couple of years older. Traditional ways fail and I had hit rock bottom. I knew the business runs on connections, so that's what I needed to learn. And this was the first beginnings of the A-list vectoring method that I was putting into play. First, I realized the film industry is different than other industries. You can't apply for jobs. That's different. Film industry is all word of mouth. And actually that was good for me because I hate interviews and I hate applying for jobs. So I'd rather be this way anyway. At this point, I was in Johannesburg trying to get in the film industry. Through my research, I found a photographer there from the United States who was there in Joburg covering the story of the new South Africa when Nelson Mandela became president. I got his info, I called him up, and he invited me to stop by where he and his buddies were playing pool. I walk in and it was filled with these Pulitzer Prize winning journalists, all there covering the story of the new South Africa. One person said, why don't you call up ABC News? They might need a fixer. So I did, I got the job, and then immediately they moved me over to a different job at WTN News. I wasn't ready to be a fixer. So I worked for WTN News, making $150 a day, and I got some experience that I could talk about. I didn't do much, but that's okay. I got some experience and I could talk about it. So that's right, we use what we create to get to where we want to go. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be that impressive. Nobody cares that much, really. One of the groups I connected with, you may have heard of them, was the Bang Bang Club. They did a movie about them. They were a group of photojournalists who brought apartheid to the attention of the world. These guys would run where the bullets were flying, and that's why they're called the Bang Bang Club. Here are the real guys, and I'm still friends with them today. I worked on this documentary called The Elephant Relocation Project. This elephant's not dead, it's sleeping, because they'd have to be moved to a new area of the bush because there was not enough room for these elephants and they were overpopulating. So we would fly around in this documentary in helicopters, darting the elephants and moving them to less crowded areas of the bush. And here in this picture, I was working as a production assistant. So how did I get these amazing opportunities? Well, I created this process called vectoring. And this is getting unique opportunities like this, that people are like, holy shit, wow, that's interesting. Talking about it, meeting more people, and that leads to more opportunities like this that give you more to talk about. So I use the experiences that I got in South Africa and the people, by the way, the people and the experiences that I met in South Africa to set up meetings with the BBC in the UK. Then I came to Los Angeles, and here's my apartment. I rented a room, it had no windows, and the only place to sit was the toilet. I would sit there calling people. So the question was, would vectoring work in Los Angeles? Now I was getting scared, you guys. If this didn't work, I'd have to go back to 9 to 5. And I had also really screwed up. In fact, I turned off the only person I knew in LA, which is an Oscar-nominated sound mixer, because I called him too many times. And I'll never forget when he said, Janet, I'm sure you'll do really well because you're very aggressive, but I don't want to have anything to do with you. And that was devastating. I remember that moment very well. It was like a sock in the stomach, like, getting hit in the stomach. That mental part was tough because the whole time I was so scared. And so because of that, everybody's different. For me, I'd come across too strong because I was so scared. And sometimes I definitely would come across as desperate. I was just always unsure exactly how to come across. So I was still learning at this point. So I'm teaching you the stuff that I did well and the stuff that I didn't do well so that you can learn and do it the right way, the great way, the way that works. But I kept going, and vectoring led me into press junkets and into travel jobs. This is a job I did in the Amazon called Supermodels in the Rainforest. And they even interviewed me. And another shoot in the Amazon about anacondas. Film shoot in Argentina, waiting in a blind, waiting for the orcas to come on shore and grab the baby sea lions. Traveled to Patagonia for a documentary about the nature of Patagonia. I stayed in a house with no electricity, where I learned to make bread as I was capturing the sound of the Andean condor. I'll never forget that, being down there getting this sound, staying with this family. And I had just met Joe, my husband, and I was just could not wait to get back to see him because it was a new relationship, but I had to get the sound of this Andean condor. And there's a big story with this, but it took me a month, and it should have taken a couple of days. And I wasn't getting paid, pretty much, like, for other than the first couple of days. So I'll never forget that. I still have like these nightmares of being stuck down in the lower part of South America, which is Patagonia, Torres del Paine. Some of you guys know where that is, but that is so far. Like, you're talking probably, oh, maybe it's like 20 hours, 25 hours of flying. It's so far. Anyway, I got back. I got to see my man, and now we're married. All works out. Worked in reality TV on travel shoots with some challenges for sure. Sometimes it's really hard. It's not always like, oh, all peaches being on these documentaries, you know, working in the film industry. It's not always so easy, but it does get better because you're pretty much living an amazing life. I got to my goal of working for National Geographic, and finally I vectored into commercials, the highest budget work there is. You can do something similar, you guys. You can make your living on professional film sets. Living every day doing what you're meant to do, learning how to be consistently on set, getting more experiences that lead to more shoots. That's my pink apple box, which is also behind me. There's a whole story with that because I worked with one of the most famous directors in the world right there, Joe Pytka. Joe Pytka, P-Y-T-K-A. Go ahead and Google him if you want to. You will be like disturbed because he's disturbing. But he is good. He's a genius. Anyway, it's a great life. I was on a shoot with John Hamm when I took this picture, and they brought in a coffee bar, and everybody got coffee. They made any coffee drink that you wanted. And in January, I did a travel job in Hawaii for a Super Bowl spot that we shot with Zoe Kravitz. Maybe you saw it. Everything was paid for. We stayed in a resort, $600 a night. It was just super fun. And these are the moments where you go, yeah, this sure beats 9 to 5. Pretty incredible life, you guys. Doing what you love for a living. That was also in Hawaii, that picture. The executive producer took that picture of me and sent it to me. And the story continues today. Here's how the A-list system came to be. It helps people all over the world get consistent work. And our mission is our A-listers making $40,000 to $100,000 a year. So we do have an income goal. This is not art. This is film career we're talking about. And the only way you get that is by working on big stuff. Like, we have our people working on the biggest TV shows and features that there are. We've got people all over in the UK, Canada, Australia, and all of the United States as well. Because, as I've said, the film industry is the same all over the world. Right. All these people who you may meet if you join A-list, because they are in A-list, went from 9 to 5 to working in film. How will you meet them? The A-list Mastermind. And their lives have completely changed. All over the US, Canada, Vancouver, Toronto, Sydney. Your new lifestyle looks like this. If you want this lifestyle and you've been struggling to get it so far, here are the 3 biggest mistakes I see, and maybe you'll see some of these things that maybe you've been doing it. And here's a framework to turn it around. Mistake number 1 is stop trying to break in from the outside. And that looks like actors spending years doing freebies, trying to get noticed from the outside. That's the biggest problem for actors. They're doing all this great work, and actors are so freaking smart. They have to be able to do what they do. But it's such a shame that they don't get paid for it. And they also don't get to actually do what they want to do professionally. So you got to change this situation. So you cannot try to get noticed from the outside. If you want results that other people don't get, you have to do what other people don't do. You must become more. must go beyond acting. That gives you much more to talk about. You can talk to producers, directors, casting directors. You can make relationships with people on a whole different level because you've done a lot more. If you want to stand out, you can't do what other people do. You got to do what beyond and know much more and be able to talk with other people. It's not scary. It's what you want to learn anyway. Okay, so there's a lot of great options for this as actors, because you can be an actor and you can do work in the camera department. You can be an actor and you can also pick up a second craft that gives you a great life, because the whole point is to have an exciting life. Directors and writers pursue their passion shooting films on zero budget stuff. You know, they're trying to get their work discovered at film festivals. But all of that is from the outside, isn't it? It's not inside working on film sets. And so they can do this for years, and you'll find people that that's what they've been doing for years, zero budget stuff, and they call themselves a filmmaker, and they are, but they're not making money doing that. And it's not leading them into the professional world, because they really do want to work on the big features, the big stuff. Okay, so you must get inside to get referred work. That's just the bottom line. And videographers, there's a lot of people out there that are doing great work, shooting weddings, marketing videos. They've got a little business going. And that's awesome. So they also want to get on feature films. They also want to win Oscars. They want to get in the game. But, you know, all you got to do, you guys, is just get in that camera department. You know, you're a videographer, you got to get in the camera department, because how it works is people will refer you work. Everybody refers everybody work within the film industry. That's how we're all doing it. So in all these situations for actors, writers, directors, if you've been doing any craft and you're not making money professionally from it, you're still on the outside. And you're trying really hard, but you're kind of trying to do your career by yourself, instead of setting it up where you're working alongside highly successful film friends. That's what you need to make. And these people that you're going to make relationships with are connected with other people, other networks, other executives that can get you meetings and can get you into auditions and can refer you to agents and refer you into other work, the work that you want to do. So that's all that I know. All that I care about is professional film work. That's all that I care about. It's all that I know. I don't care about the freebie world. And I think you've had enough of that. So there are talented working actors. And where are the working actors? They are on set. And you can meet these people, and you should know these people. There are producers, like people that are professional producers shooting stuff, new shows, pilots that would like to meet you. They would. You might be like, no, I don't see why. Well, they would, because you're a nice person. And they're always looking for great people for their team. And there's DPs that would like to hire you into the camera department, because we need a lot of people. We have second camera. We got 2 or 3 cameras on set. And the camera department all of a sudden will get very large. And that's when they start making phone calls to get more people into the department. So you can learn the tricks of all of these professionals, because you're there. You can get good, you can get fast, you can see how these people get the work, and then you can model it. The fastest way is to model people, and you go very fast in your career, but you got to model the best people, and you have to see how they get the work. It's not just how they do the craft. We're so focused on the craft that we want to do, but really where the real value is seeing how people get the work, because everybody's good. Everybody's out there, you know, working their craft, but there's a small percentage of people that are the ones that are working all the time. Okay, so that's what you need to learn. So I don't think that you've ever heard about what I'm about to share with you. I call this the superstar shortcut, because you go straight into the professional world, work in your craft on smaller professional shoots, okay, not stuff that's not professional. And at the same time, you work on high budget shoots as well. This method speeds up your career by 10 years. Yes, you guys. Okay, now you're learning what all these people that I've been working with, what they've done that makes them go really fast. And I'm laying it out for you, and you will never find this. You'll never see this on the internet. You'll never hear about this. But now you're getting exposed to it. And this is a framework that you can live in the A-List program. This is what you'll be doing in the A-List program. This method is how I move so fast into the big budget stuff. And this really is, this is exactly what I did, you guys. It is the fastest way into a craft, which is what the point that we're all here is to get into acting, writing, directing, sound mixing, hair and makeup stunts, special effects, voiceover, music, whatever it is that you want to do. So most people start their career as a production assistant on feature films, on TV shows, on commercials. These are the big budget shoots. Why? Because they have the budgets to hire production assistants. That's why that's where they start their career. They find this stuff. 50 to 100 people on the crew. These shoots have the budget. So that's where people go to get the work initially and get started. Even if they study to be a director, producer, writer, all that, this is where they start. But this is also where a lot of people, and a lot of good people, by the way, get stuck as a production assistant for 7 to 10 years. Why do they get stuck? Because on those shoots, you're going to hear from everybody there that it will take you 10 to 15 years to get to where you want to be. A department head, a DP, a writer, actor, production designer. That's because it took them that long to get there. They don't know what I'm about to share with you. And I'm so glad that I did not go this route, because if I had, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. I did not do this. I did not stay as a production assistant on these big budget shoots, and I did not start that way. So I'm going to share with you what I did. So this method, it does produce a shortcut. And I did this in Los Angeles, okay? I moved into the big budget shoots in 2 years, but I did not start as a production assistant. And a lot of the people that I started in small shoots and medium shoots. And a lot of the people that started with small shoots and medium shoots that I started with at that time, 22 years ago, they're still doing those small and medium shoots, okay? So it's not like that's a failure, but it is half the money and half the career because they stayed in their comfort zone. But I used the small and the medium shoots to move into the big budget shoots. Okay, that's what I want you to get today. That is the shortcut. Okay, all right, makes sense? So you start with small and medium professional shoots. I'm not talking about student films here, zero budget stuff, or web series. Only professional shoots. These are small crews, 3 people, camera, sound, producer. And the medium shoots, you guys, are where you build your career. These are 15 people crews. These are non-union, okay? They're less pay than the big shoots. They're less experienced people, too, because obviously they're smaller budget stuff, but that's okay. All of these shoots are professional film industry, and they are a great place to learn and make a great living. You can stay in, just keep doing the small and medium shoots, or you can do what I'm about to share with you. So on the medium-sized shoots, you can start off as an assistant and you can get paid. They also will have production assistant jobs. And the beautiful thing here, you guys, is that you can learn your craft from people on these medium-sized shoots. And since it's non-union, listen to me now, there's nothing stopping you from moving into these crafts right away. These shoots are the sweet spot. This is exactly what I did. And these shoots set me up to move into the big budget shoots because I got my union days, I got good, I got fast, I bought my equipment, I met a lot of people, and I had a story, which you can see from that vectoring, having those experiences and knowing people. That's how I move so fast. So you're using a combination of these 2 methods. And oh yes, it works. You get your experience in your craft in the medium-sized shoots. You get trained by people there, and you get your qualifying days to join the union. At the same time as you're building your experience, your union days, you're getting good in the small and medium shoots, and this is the sweet spot for actors, for writers, for directors, because you can get easily put in there as an actor. A writer, there are writers on every set, and you can get access to these people. And these are just, they're there, they're everywhere, and it's just the best place to get in. You can get in there. At the same time, you're working on these medium-sized shoots. You're also working on the big budget shoots. This is a big part of the strategy, you guys. It's not just this, it all works together. So you're making connections in the big budget world as well at the same time. Okay, got it? Because then the people in the big budget shoots will hire you too because you have experience. You're doing it already. Make sense? Of course, the big budget shoots is where you may want to go because that's where you can win the Oscars. So we've got a method called the 50-50-20 method. And this method shows you how to build relationships with 50 core people who hire you. You are on their list. You are in their phone. They think of you to hire, okay? 50 core people who refer you. These are other actors, other DPs, other editors. Now this method here, a lot of people have no idea. I mean, most people. And you guys probably have forgotten about the 50 people who refer you. Other people that are other professionals can refer you. They're not directly hiring you. And then 20 people who are your team. These are the people that you call when you're doing something new on set and you haven't done it before, and you need people to give you advice so that you do well, so that you answer the right way, so you respond the right way, so you don't mess up, right? So this is the training you're going to learn inside A-List. The outcome, though, of the 50-50-20 method is consistent work. You're going to be doing this method for your whole career, your entire career. Not just when you get in, you'll use it to get in, but you're going to be doing this to get consistent work, which this whole business is freelance. So this method is going to be gold for you. So 22 years of doing this, I'm even more in demand now than I was even when I started. So you need to learn this too, because it is definitely money. So if you're feeling like, okay, I don't even know how to get the beginning jobs, I can appreciate that. The first thing we do in the Superstar Shortcut method is getting experience. So would you like to see an example of this method in action? This is a screenshot from one of our A-listers, A-lister Isabel. Isabel started the A-list program right out of college. She got experience doing the Get on Shoots method, one of our methods, and this got her connected to CNN and other TV shows. Then she moved into the big shoots, and now she works as a digital producer for Saturday Night Live. She can't take any pictures in there. This is the only picture she could send me, but it's a pretty cool picture. And she just got a promotion. She used to be making $78,000 a year working for NBC Nightly News, and now she got promoted to Saturday Night Live, and she's making even more money. So she's had a complete life change because of A-List. And if you're like, oh man, I would love to talk to somebody like that, well, you can talk to her. She's one of our mentors. And the really cool thing about this, you guys, and you can probably tell this, is that we attract very high quality people into A-List. And when you're surrounded by people that are doing stuff, that makes you do the stuff too, because you see examples of success all around you. So you get your dreams fast. So here's an overview of the 5-part Superstar Shortcut framework. The first one is to use the magic list, one of our A-List methods, to find the professionals and all the film work that are happening around you. So you know how right now you don't know what's going on around you, like what shoots are happening, and you don't know how to get involved. Like you might see something shooting on the street, but you don't know what to do. With the magic list, I'll show you how to find all the production companies, producers, directors, casting companies, DPs, all the professionals working in the business around you so that you can get on these shoots. Yeah, that's how we get on these shoots, you guys. Number 2, get relevant experience that producers want to see. So with the Get on Shoots method, you get hired consistently, okay? So 2 is getting relevant experience. It's not just going on set or what you did in film school, if you went to film school. No, this is what gets you hired. Number 3, get paid assistant jobs, okay? On medium-sized shoots. Remember, those are the sweet spot. They are big enough shoots where they hire assistants. You'll meet film friends and you'll see what the crafts are like. And number 4, you'll start getting experience in those crafts. Yes, that's the whole point. If you're an actor, you'll get principal roles. If you're a writer, there are writers on every set. And they are much more accessible to you than the big budget shoots. That's a great point. If you're a director, you'll be working with other directors that are just a few years ahead of you. But they're still your peers, so you can make relationships with them. If you're camera, you'll get into the camera department on these shoots and get referred work. Basically, you're starting in your craft and you're getting your union days with this Superstar Shortcut. Number 5, you're going to get on big budget shoots and you're going to talk about what you do. Now, at this point, when you get to step number 5, you're already working in your craft and you've used medium-sized shoots to work on your craft. And now you can talk about it on these big budget shoots. You are now a writer, a DP, an actor, a sound mixer, production designer, whatever it is you are by the time you're at step number 5. And that is a whole nother ballgame. You're not a PA working on these big budget shoots, hoping for somebody to give you an opportunity. You're actually coming in there as a professional already and having discussions or conversations with these people, with professionals. And that's awesome. That's how you're getting that's how you're getting referred the work. So let's go into detail on step number 3, because step number 3 solves the problem of what do? I don't even know how to get started at all, and I don't want to start at the bottom. Okay, so let's talk about this now, because one thing that holds a lot of people back is feeling really uncomfortable about getting started because they think they have to start at the bottom. Okay, it's a mistake to think you have to start at the bottom. That's mistake number 2. On every set, there are jobs that get you working alongside people who will hire you for the rest of your career. This is an opportunity. And at the same time, you're learning your craft. In fact, you might be doing your craft within a month or so in the A-list program. Oh yes, you guys. You're thinking it's going to take you so long, and you've been trying for so long. Oh yes, you might be doing it within a month. And I will show you how to go straight into that craft. This is what excites me more than anything, helping you go straight into what you want to do. I want success stories. I want your success story. You know, it's just, that's the whole reason why I even created this, you guys. And the great thing is that all these shoots need good, hardworking people like you to help out. And you can get this work. So let's go into step number 3, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, step number 3 is using assistant jobs to get in the door, to get connected into your craft. Okay, guys, in these jobs, you're working directly with people who will hire you for your whole career. Who are the people that can hook you up as an actor? Who is it? Producers, directors, writers, DPs, casting directors, agents, right? Those are the people. Okay, so here are some of the jobs that get you connected with people who can hire you and help you and refer you as an actor. They can bring you in to meet casting directors. And how many people that are professionals like this do you know now? If it's not so many, that's because you had no way to get these jobs. But now you can see that these jobs get you in direct relationships with them because you're working with them. You're working alongside them. So now you have a way to do it. For writers, here are the jobs that get you working with people who can hire you as a writer and bring you into the writing room and make you a writer's assistant. Remember, every film set has writers on it. These jobs pay an average of $200 a day, and these jobs are not posted. In the film industry, everybody hires from within. Okay, that's why they're not posted. Meaning we hire people who we know already. We don't go through thousands of resumes, you guys. Everybody who's good is found on set or in the production office already. And this is where you'll be. And this is exactly where these jobs will put you. For DPs and directors, here are the jobs that get you working in the camera department. Then you can get referred to other DP and directing work. So how does this happen, you guys? A DP gets a call for a job, okay, that's lower budget, all right? They're already booked, okay? So then they refer you. Because they work with you, they know you. They're like, oh yeah, call this person. And this is how everybody gets work in the film industry. This is maybe something that you didn't actually realize, that this is part of that 50-50-20, the referral part of it. It's a huge part. I would say it's probably responsible for a good 70% of my career today is working that part of it. And you're going to learn how to do that inside A-List. And you're going to learn it now from the very beginning. Okay, well, you can actually just use it and do it for your whole career. So with other crafts, here are the jobs. So for any craft like hair, sound, makeup, stunts, music, storyboards, all these jobs get you meeting the right people who will hire you. There's no other way, you guys, to get into these crafts. Everything happens through people meeting you and hiring you. Nothing happens cold. Nothing happens from the outside. It just doesn't. People have to work with you and know you, and then they will hire you. So these jobs get you inside. Yeah, it's quite simple if you think about it. So I know some people might be thinking, well, what if I'm not qualified to do these jobs? There is no qualification or training for these jobs, you guys. All you need is a good attitude. And of course, with these jobs, you have to be inside first. So that's how you get these opportunities. So can you help out? I think you can. If you can do these jobs right now. You just need to be willing to help out, and then you can get started in this career that you've been wanting to do for so long. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get into these jobs and how to do it really fast within only a month inside the A-List program. But for now, I want you to think about, what are you hungry to learn the most on set? Like, what kind of questions do you have? They're really burning questions. You want to learn it. You know that you need to learn it on set. like how do actors get their jobs? How do writers make a career? What was a writer's path for some of these professional writers? What do you want to see firsthand and learn? You'll be able to learn this all because you'll be right there with these jobs, you guys. These jobs pay well, $200 a day. 15 days a month, hey, that's $3,000 a month to start. And it's roughly the same rates in the UK, Canada, and Australia. Having no experience does not matter. Everybody in the film industry learns by doing. You're going to hear this. You're going to know this. You're going to live this. It's more about being helpful and knowing what to do, which you can do this. You can learn all these moving parts inside the A-List program. So what if your main goal is to be an actor, director, writer? You probably felt like you had a huge mountain to climb, right? But not necessarily so. What if you could have a second craft in addition to acting, writing, or directing that makes you great money? And each craft feeds work to the other. You'd have it made, wouldn't you? Let's look at this because I got you covered here too. So if you don't want to be a struggling actor, writer, or filmmaker, you don't have to be. You can create a source of income in a second craft that you love, and both crafts will feed work to each other. Acting and camera, directing and production design, writing and stunts, which is why I call it a complementing craft. I wonder what your complementing craft might be. Let's take a look. Here's a list of jobs and departments that you can make a career out of. Remember, everybody learns these crafts by doing. That's how you'll learn them too. We don't go to film school to do any of these crafts. They pay well too, by the way. $500 for 10 is standard for the beginning job in a department. That's a beginning job in a department, and it only goes up from there. And again, these rates are similar in the UK, Canada, and Australia. You can get into the union, and this is where you'll get your medical coverage. This is how we get medical coverage all over the world in the film industry. What could be a fulfilling craft for you to get into? Well, camera is awesome because you're in the middle of it all. You're just right up front next to the actors, next to the performance, next to the director. And you get to see the performance because you're right there because, hey, yeah, you're there working with camera. It's great for actors, great for directors, great for editors, and DPs, obviously. Alicia had a corporate job. She had no experience in film. When she started A-List, she hadn't done anything. And within a few months of the A-List program, she was a camera operator, which is like, what? That's kind of crazy, right? Because everybody thinks, oh, you have to go to film school to be able to do that. Well, no, you don't. As I said, we all learn by doing. We make relationships with people on set, and they will train and take under their wing whoever they want. They're just going to train the people that they like. So you can create this situation where you are somebody that they decide that they want to train and they like. And if this seems like a difficult thing, you guys, it is not. It's really just developing this, what I call get it factor. The fact that you get it, you understand what's going on, you're helpful to people, you've got a great attitude, then you make this happen. So art department is awesome if you're artistic and you like working in a team. Music, it's on every single shoot. Okay, so you can work in music. And how should you get into music? Well, my advice is to get on set, meet the people that are actually making those decisions about music, have conversations with them, and then get them to use your music, or part of your music, or have some of your music in their projects. Hair, makeup, wardrobe, they're all separate high-paying specialties, providing opportunities to travel, work with celebrities, and you don't have to go to film school for this again, or any school at all. Editing. You have a huge advantage over other editors if you know production. Yes, I cannot say enough about this. Who hires editors or a post house? Who? Producers and directors. So you're going to know these people personally with a Superstar shortcut because you're going to be working with them. That's how you're going to have such an advantage. AD department is for you if you like keeping things on schedule, if you like running the show. Storyboard artist, there are a lot of people on set who do storyboards as a second craft. You just talk to people on set and you'll find them. Set dresser is a really fun job. Stunts is a great niche if you're an actor and also a physical person. So I hope you're getting excited, and I hope you're starting to see that with a few adjustments in your approach, getting into a career that really fulfills you. It's not a faraway dream. This is something that you can make happen now. These jobs give you a great life. The beginning job in the departments is $500 for 10 hours. and they only go up from there. I made $2,000 a day as a sound mixer, you guys. That's how much I make. Head of the sound department. Sometimes I make $3,000 a day. So $500 doing 15 days a month is $7,500 a month. That's working only 15 days in a month. That's part-time, by the way. That means you've got 15 days free. If you're working 50 days, you have 15 days free, 30 days in a month. And you can spend that time however you want, like with your family. And you may find that you have more free time with family than you do right now. So if you're like, oh, I can't get in the film industry, I have a child. I'm like, are you kidding me? 80% of the people in the film industry have children. So if they did it, you can do it too. That's not a reason not to do it. People think it's this big, long process to get into these jobs, but it really isn't. You can use this shortcut. You can do it much faster. And you're going to be using these medium-sized shoots to get into your craft. I hope you're starting to see that there's a concrete way that you can get these jobs. It doesn't have to take forever, you guys. Or it doesn't have to be risky in any way. It can be just very methodical. Even if you have a good job now, you can apply our skills to the film industry and create an even better life that leads to a lifestyle that you actually want. Travel, film friends, working in different places every day, and seeing things that the public just doesn't get access to. That's why I got into it. It's all laid out for you inside A-List. And you can transition from your day job, what you have right now, and start building experience that leads you straight into these jobs. Okay, that's what you're doing during the A-List program, is you're transitioning using the system. This is a framework that has been my primary strategy, my tried and true strategy that I've relied on for years. We're getting in the door with jobs. There's no other way to get in the door. There's no other way to get in that door. Got to get in there with jobs, paid jobs. Then you use the A-List system to get into the niches from there to create your own thriving career. Here are the elements of how we accomplish that. Okay, first thing, do you need experience? Get on Shoots method. Even if you have no experience, you can use the Get on Shoots method to get experience using the A-List experience list. You haven't probably heard about that before. That's inside the A-List program. And the experience list is what you should be doing on set that gives you the exact experience that people want to see, and you will fill your resume with that. And then you'll get hired above everybody else. Need professional work? Magic list. Right now, you may know that you don't know what film work is happening around you. I'll show you how to find the film industry happening around you with a technique called the magic list. That's what this technique is. It's super exciting. People talk about this all the time. Oh my God, I never knew that there's all this stuff shooting around me, all this stuff happening around me. You'll find all the production companies, producers, directors, casting companies, everything. And you'll also use the magic list in another way, and that is for your craft. And you'll have an advantage using the magic list to get the kind of work that you want to do. You'll use it, and you'll use it to get into feature films, scripted TV, documentary, and commercials. That's exactly what I did, you guys. How will you pay for A-List? That's pretty simple. Paid professional work on film sets. You can make $500 for 10, that's 10 hours, just working one day on set. You should be doing 15 days a month with this program, okay? That's $7,500. So will this really work? Yes, you guys. All I know is for the professional world, you guys. I don't even do freebie shoots. So the days of wondering if you're wasting your time working for free, they are over. I don't want to focus on money that much, but I'm telling you, this really works. The business pays well, and you will get into this work when you implement this system. In fact, A-lister Goran paid off $60,000 in debt. College stuff, life stuff, and you can check out his case study on our case study page. But if you have debt, the best thing to do is to do A-List so that you get these jobs, start making money in the film industry, and you pay that stuff off quickly. Otherwise, how are you going to do it? With a low-income job? You know, that's going to take you forever. You might as well get into what you really want to do, start making money, and just pay that stuff off. All you got to do is believe in yourself. You got to just decide. All right? So there's example after example on our case study page of people that are doing exactly this. You can talk to these people. They're there in the Facebook group as well, and you can ask them. You can ask them about these rates. So we have people that are leaving their jobs as pharmacists, as doctor, and as different professional jobs, a lot of professional jobs, call center manager, real estate, and with this A-list system, they are more than replacing their income, all from film work. So they're making a career, like they're making their dream happen with this system. How will you start getting work in your niche? The superstar shortcut method. Just follow the system to get on medium-sized shoots in your craft and set yourself up to move into features and scripted TV. These jobs, you guys, that I'm showing you how to get, they are all over and you can get into them. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Apple TV. This is all exploding. So let's go get these jobs, because you can be doing these jobs only in a couple months. Other A-listers have done it. Just follow the system. You'll get the same results that they did. You want to travel the world? Travel job training. Just like me, I traveled the world, National Geographic and Discovery Channel. So you'll learn, there's specific companies that do this kind of work. So you'll learn the companies, you'll learn the shows to get into, and you can do travel jobs as well. If you want medical and retirement, that's provided by the union. So we have the union work accelerator. So you become eligible to join the union as soon as possible, which gives you medical and retirement. Like, what really do you want to do? What craft and what sector? So acting in scripted TV, directing and feature films, shooting wildlife documentaries, so camera and wildlife, doing special effects on feature films. You know, you're going to decide what it is. Okay, and I call this the vector to the sector technique. So first we get into the craft. Okay, that's the first step of this, you guys. Then we connect with professionals who work in that sector that you want to get into. Scripted TV, features, commercials, music videos, whatever it is. And we can even use this technique to get into certain TV shows. So why do we have so many professionals who get into the industry with A-list and now are well into their career and they are still so involved with us? That's because you never stop doing these methods. Because these methods are how you get the work, you guys. In fact, we have our people go back and they do the training again. So, you know, your success in your career, it's very important to you. And you're going to want to stay on your game. And the great thing is that you can learn this now, before you've even started. You're just learning the most important thing and these methods so that you have consistent work and you have a great career. You're doing it right from the very beginning. And by the way, you don't need to come into this super talented or with all these ideas or experience. You don't need to have any experience. All you need is a desire to learn and an eagerness and courage to start this life. If that's you, you're the right person for this. So here's the URL, alistmethod.com. And it gives you the training to get started, make relationships, work in your craft, so you don't struggle anymore to get this work. You've got a secret weapon that gets you in. Somebody was just posting in Yammer, they're like, Janet's my secret weapon. People don't realize I got Janet, she's my secret weapon. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And it feels really good to be able to just give people these shortcuts, these ways that I've created. It's like there's just so many different situations. There's just so many things that are happening out there. And for me, it's very easy when somebody describes what's going on or a question that they have or how should they respond. It's so easy for me to help them, you know, because I've been doing this and I have a different level of experience because I'm at the highest level in the film industry. And that came from a certain kind of mentality. So when I help people, I'm giving it from the perspective of this higher level, high performance mentality. Okay, so this is also what I'm seeing with other top people in the business. Now there's a lot of people that are not top. They're not doing the biggest, highest budget work. And what their advice is going to be different because they're not there. They haven't lived it. They haven't done it. All right? Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just that they've stayed in a comfort zone. And I'm going to push you beyond your comfort zone to go to these high levels because you can. Those people that are in the lower levels of small and medium stuff and they stay there, they could also have moved up, but they didn't because they wanted to stay in their comfort zone because of, you know why? Because of fear. Because of fear. That's it. So here's how we'll do it. Number one, I'll be personally helping you implement the A-list system for the next 8 months. You are going to see a lot of me. I'll tell you what to do. You're going to do it. And we're going to do this film industry dance for the next 8 months. You're actually getting into the film industry during this program, you guys. This is how all the people that you see on the case study page, that's how they got into these opportunities so fast. The end result of this is that you're leaving your unfulfilling job and you're working full-time in the film industry, back-to-back film shoots. That's what you're creating here. You're not getting lucky and getting one job. No, no, no. Please listen to me now. You are not just trying to get like one job. Oh, I hope I can get one job. I hope I can get like one job in a month. No, you're creating the situation where you're going to have back-to-back film shoots because you're doing it our way now. This will get you in demand. This will get you overbooked. Okay? Just so you know how exciting this is. This is the answer that you've been looking for. So this is 8 months because you're actually getting into the industry during the program. And I'm going to be here every step of the way helping you do it. Then there's the A-List Mastermind. This is your new peer group where you've got other successful A-listers doing these methods, showing you how it's working for them, and then referring you professional jobs. Yes, they're going to refer you jobs. And just the paid work that you can get from this network of successful people that can pay for this entire program. And we have get-togethers in London, in Toronto, and Vancouver. And people get together, they get to know each other, they make film friends. Then they refer each other work. Very exciting. Number 3 is weekly mentorship calls with me. Keeps you on track in doing this for real. I'm helping you with questions that constantly come up, like how do I respond to this person? What should I say in this email? And you're doing it right. I'm keeping you safe so that you don't get blacklisted. Like I got blacklisted in the beginning too, you know. And so some things I did right and some things I did not do right. So I'm teaching you all of that stuff so that you come across just right, like a sought-after professional. Finally, you can do this from anywhere in the world, you guys. All you need is a smartphone. And there's a film industry in every metropolitan area. You don't know about it, you cannot see, it's all invisibly happening. So you start off in the small shoots. And some of these shoots, you guys, will be volunteer, which is good because then you can fit it in with your current job. And I'll show you how to get experience from these shoots that will lead you to small and medium paid professional shoots. That's where you want to go, the sweet spot. And then you're going to be moving into these crafts, doing the kind of work that you want to do on these big budget shoots, features, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, music videos, travel documentaries. You're going to be able to do it fast because you've got our method and you've got me helping you. You're going to do it fast just like I did. Okay. You can easily blow through money studying film, which is completely unnecessary. Film school. Those degrees do not get you in the film industry. I get emails every day from film school students with $100,000 in debt. It's major. People don't realize it. That's $600 a month payments for 20 years. For 20 years, you guys. And they cannot get work in the film industry. Probably 98% of them are not working in the film industry, and they tried. That's because the degree is not what makes people want to hire you. You knowing how to make relationships to get work in your craft, how to build a career in a word-of-mouth business, that's what you need to learn. Working your butt off on film sets. Okay, I've given you an overview of the Superstar Shortcut method today. And contrary to what most film professionals will tell you, I love to tell you this, you guys, there are no rules for how fast you can start working in a craft. And people will not necessarily say this. They really won't even have thought about this, but it is the case. There are no rules. Nobody's watching to see, oh, how many shoots have you done before you started doing this craft? They don't care. They just like you and they hire you. It's just a bunch of people hiring and referring each other, just to make it very simple so that you can see, hey, I can do this. Okay, there's 2 ways that you can do the A-list system. Gold or platinum. So I've got a payment plan for you, or you can pay it off in full if you want to, and you can pay for it with the work that you get from the film industry. That's the whole point. $497 a month for 10 months. That's only, you guys, 2.5 days a month working on set. At $200 a day, that's only 2.5 days out of 30. So you should be doing at least 15. So anybody who's a go-getter can do this, you guys. Once you've paid it off, you got the modules for life. And you can go to alistmethod.com and join us right now. It's $600 off if you want to pay in full for gold. That's a pretty darn good discount. So what you should do is just go to alistmethod.com, select gold or platinum, make the first payment, and then email us and say, hey, I want to pay it off. And then we will contact you and give you this big discount. Okay? All right. So initially, A-listers pay for this by getting overtime at work, getting a zero interest credit card, or doing odd jobs like babysitting. Like you can babysit on the weekends, like every weekend, and you make like $75, every time that you babysit. 4 or 5 days, you pretty much got your money for the month just by babysitting, or dog walking, or cleaning houses, or also cutting back expenses like the gym and yoga memberships. All this stuff adds up. Starbucks, even eating out, you guys. A lot of people are eating out. $15, $16 a day. And they could actually be making their own food and be spending maybe a couple dollars a day. So this program actually turns out to be around $16 a day. And this actually gets you the life you want. In fact, when you do this, you'll have money coming in from the film industry, and you can go to Starbucks all that you want. But a lot of people spend money on stuff that's getting them nothing in life. And I'm sure that money has gone out the door for stuff that has given you nothing back. And now you got the opportunity to invest in something that pays you back right away. Like you're doing it and you're getting money coming back in right away. Platinum is only $100 more a month, $597 a month for 10 months. Now, Platinum gives you more access to me. And I'll look over your emails, resumes. I'll dig into any situation with you. And if like certain situations will come up, because as you get in the business, there's going to be all sorts of stuff that's going to be happening. A lot of questions you're going to have. I'll need to dig into it. Like if somebody wants you to sign a contract, or you have 2 shoots that want you for the same days, and you don't want to burn any bridges, well, that's when you're going to need me, and we're going to be digging into this. So also with Platinum, I'll move you faster in the training if you're Platinum. So $597 a month for 10 months, if you're looking at this from the lens that, okay, that's extra money that I have to come up with. No, you guys, you're going to be implementing this system. And luckily, these paid jobs pay $200 a day. You can get them, and you're going to get them. That's the whole point of this program. So you should be doing 15 days a month. That's $3,000 a month. Okay, so coming up with $597 with doing this system, which you can see works and everybody else is doing it, that should be a no-brainer. Once you paid it off, you have the modules for life again, and the URL is alistmethod.com, and it's $1,000 off if you want to pay in full as Platinum. If you're nervous at all about whether this program can work for you, you don't have to worry about that. Try it out for 14 days, and if it's not what you expected, get a full refund, no questions asked. Okay. We're open now, and we're closing on Friday, 3 p.m. Friday. Okay? Our first call with this new group will be Sunday, May 5th. The question isn't whether you make your money back, it's how quickly you're going to pay it off. I've had people pay it off by the 2nd month. Yeah, they just implemented the system, they got on a bunch of shoots, and they just made a ton of money. They paid it right off. You can pay this off. I think it's very doable to pay it off by month 3, month 4. Okay, and the person that did it by month 2, actually there's been several people that have paid it off that quickly. You never know, all you do is you get on a job and they hire you all the time. Pretty much you make all that money, you just pay it off. You just have to have the courage. And I would say that those people that happened to, they didn't expect that. They didn't really expect that it would happen like that fast. So yeah, when you do the right things, it happens, you guys. Everybody starts with the same fears and concerns. And by the way, a lot of the fears and concerns you have today, in a month, they're just going to be gone because you'll be in a different place. Like Goran with $60,000 in debt. That's Goran right there. He paid it off in 1 year with A-List. That means that he made a ton of money, right? He made more than $60,000 with A-List. And now he's working as a camera operator, doing travel jobs. You can talk to them. You can talk to him. He's in the Facebook group. Okay, he'll tell you. Amy wanted to work in the film industry in Los Angeles, so she used A-List to get into the industry where she lived, which was Chicago. She made connections in LA from that work that she got in Chicago, the film work, and now she works in LA on scripted TV. Claire started with no connections, no experience. She was an actor in London, and now she works on TV shows in London and Spain and Portugal. So she's getting travel jobs as well. Patrick, Aaron, and Leaf had all been trying to get in the film industry for years, and now they're all in the business. Here they are working together on the set of Stranger Things, which shoots in Atlanta. Okay, here's what to do next. Join A-List now, alistmethod.com. Choose Gold or Platinum. Get Module 1 right away. Get our invite into the first conference call, which will be on Sunday. Get an invite into our A-List Mastermind group on Friday. So you get into our mastermind with all these people, like-minded, successful people on Friday. And I invite you to join me in A-List now. I got 8 incredible bonuses for you, okay, for the first 30 people. This first one is important, especially if you want to be able to make extra money to be able to do this. This will make it so doable that you can absolutely do this and do it now. So some people get overtime at work, some people already have jobs and they just turn up the volume and they're able to do this. They're able to do A-List without doing the brand ambassador work. I mean, a lot of people do. They just get overtime. But if you want to, another way to do it, you can use this brand ambassador side hustle training that I've made for you. So if you need extra money and you can't get overtime, then this is a great solution. This is where you promote a brand by handing out samples of products like Coke, like iced tea, and you can also work at events as well with celebrities. This is easy work to get. Anybody can do it. And this work is found all over the United States, even in the small towns, and in London, Vancouver, Toronto, and Sydney. We got people all over the world doing this and reporting back in the mastermind. So I've got my fingers on this really well. So A-Lister Storm paid off the program entirely doing this work. And we've got people that are posting in the A-List Mastermind that they're making $600 a week doing this work. And the great thing about it is all you need to do is be able to smile. And for the first 10 people who join us, we'll give you your own personal coach to help you implement this bonus. And I'll help you find the work with this bonus for the first 10 people. And we're right around that right now. So if you want to sign up during this call, then you can get in there and you can get this. But yeah, we'll give you your own personal coach. We'll help you find the work, help you find the pictures, because you're going to have to take some pictures of yourself, just smiling your head off, and write a bio, and then you can get this work. And we want you to get this work. We want you to make money right away, okay? This work is freelance, and it's flexible. That's a beautiful thing. And a lot of people pay for the program initially with brand ambassador work, and then after a couple months, the film work starts to take over. They start to turn down this work, and they only do film work. But it's a great thing to have, because if you don't have a shoot in 1 week, then you can call up your contacts and then do the brand ambassador work and to fill it in with that. So the value of the brand ambassador side hustle is $1,997. It's actually being sold for that today. And I'm giving it to you for free as a bonus for the first 30 people. So you can take advantage of this by going to alistmethod.com and joining us right now. When I started, I remember feeling so like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So when I figured out how to find all the key players in the industry for what I wanted to do, I felt like I hit gold. And this actually is. With Magic List, you're finding all the players. You know exactly when and how to use this information so that you hit people right and you come across as a professional from day one. Bonus number 3 is for the first 30 people, and that's running your own business training. As a freelancer, you're eligible for thousands of dollars in write-offs to reduce your taxes. You can get a refund check from the government, you guys, and keep that money with these write-offs. My first year, I didn't know about these write-offs, and I could have written off $20,000. And now my write-offs every year are around $40,000 to $50,000 a year. So it's major. And it's not just me, it's every film professional is doing this because we're all freelance. We're all independent contractors, and you will be too. In fact, even if you're just doing brand ambassador work, you're eligible for the same write-offs. You can write off your cell phone. You can write off your cell phone bill. You can write off Wi-Fi at home. You can write off your computer because you're using it for work, right? You can write off any computer programs. You can write off any camera, sound equipment, anything you need for the film industry, and education. Like this whole A-list program, it's all a write-off. It comes off of your current income because you've got your current job, and then you've got film industry, you're sole proprietor, independent contractor, okay? And therefore, you can take advantage of all these write-offs. And the write-offs come off against your current income with whatever professional job you're doing, call center, bank, whatever it is. The write-offs come against that as well. That's what people don't realize. So, just with this bonus, you can pay off this entire program, you guys. Just this bonus. This one is important if you want to get rid of anxiety, self-doubt, fear, quiet confidence. This bonus will help shift your state from ways that you don't want to feel, the self-doubt, uncertainty, lack of motivation, to feeling like you are doing this, creating this life now. Okay, this is a very important part of it because when you get the strategy, then who's going to implement that? That's going to be you, and you're going to have to bring your best self. So it all goes together. I'm interested in the whole thing, you growing into this person that you're meant to be. And that's what we're doing. It's not like it's just a big, serious, like tough thing. This is actually all a pleasure. This is all really fun. This is all really great. Okay, so we do this together. If you'd like to improve your money karma, the Money Karma Machine shows you how other A-listers made it all work to do this program while earning extra money and paying their bills with the net effect of it all working and putting them in a positive money situation while doing the A-list program. So this is like a map. This is like some great ideas of what you can do to implement and make it all work. Money Karma Machine. Also for the first 30 people. Okay. And of course, with the A-List Mastermind Group, these are your people. These will be your new instant film friends. They will inspire, teach you, refer you paid work. And most of the people that you see on the case study page, they are here. That's awesome. And people like this. These people are there. They are there on the calls. They are there in the mastermind. These are not the people that teach you, by the way. I am your mentor. They are there. They show you examples. They help you. They refer you work, but I am your mentor. Action Taker bonus number 7 is casting director internships. So if you're an actor, this is the only internship that I think is probably good to have. Okay, casting director internship, because you get in proximity and meet these people personally by helping them. It's the same kind of thing, you guys. It's all about proximity and helping people to move into what you want to do. Okay, this is delivered in month 3 because you're going to have such a huge advantage when you do A-list because you're going to be working in production. Okay, and then most actors, they have no idea. They're not doing that. They're just, all they're doing is acting. That's all they're doing is trying to get the casting director internship, but you're just going to sail right in because you come from production. Okay. So the A-list system with all these bonuses gets you started in the film industry, making relationships to get professional work in your craft. It is the fastest way into a craft. Okay, alistmethod.com. So if you're ready to take the leap, go to alistmethod.com and select either gold or platinum. Fill in the secure form with your information, and then you'll be well on your way to creating a thriving career in your craft that changes the course of your life. This is what we're doing together. I know you want a thriving career, and you've been trying to make this happen for too long. You wouldn't be here if you didn't, and you got 2 options to get you there. The first is the long way. You might be able to come up with some of this, piece it together over time, over the next 10 or 20 years, or you can get in the way that we teach you with the A-list system, and you can hit the ground running and instead of figuring it out for yourself over the next 20 years. Just follow the system, and I've already forged it for you, and it will work. This is money. You'll be so much closer to the money, like pretty much right away. All right. We're shifting the mindset from looking at what's possible through your own like perceived limitations. By perceived, I mean you're perceiving them as being limitations. So, you know, you might be looking at this going, yeah, but I have this issue. This thing will prevent me. I'm getting married. I don't have the money. I have kids, whatever. These are your perceived limitations when they're not at all. And instead, your focus should be on what's possible. You want this life? Hey, what's possible? What jobs do you want? What crafts do you want to learn? What opportunities do you want? Because all these limitations, they're going to get sorted. They're just going to get sorted along the way. Because you're going to grow, and what seems like a big deal now, you just figure it out, and it's not. You know, you've got to want this life. Got to be hungry for it. So if you're willing to step into being that person, I will help you fill your frickin' phone with emails checking your availability. And what you are gonna love to be wanted by professionals. That's how they come in. They check your phone. Hey, are you available? It's all it says in the subject line, and then it gives you the date. So you're gonna love being wanted by professionals, checking your availability. So much different than waking up and going to a job. You're waking up to go to a film set. That's what you're creating. That's what we're doing in the next 8 months. Okay. So what I'm going to do is come back to you, and I'm going to answer your questions. So put them in the chat box. And if you've already joined A-List during this call, let me know, because I want to congratulate you. And I also want to know what you're most excited to learn if you've joined A-List. Okay, tell me what you're most excited to learn. And if you have questions about whether the program is right for you, I want to hear from you too, to help you make the best decision before A-List closes. And if you have any other questions about what I've covered today, I want to hear from you as well. Okay? So, do I have to move to LA straight after joining the program? No. You start where you live. You get in the film industry where you live. And then you meet people from LA that come into your area to shoot. Yeah, I never really talked about that, but yeah, that's what Amy did. And that's what people do. That's what a lot of people do, is they start in their area first. They get experience and they get on film shoots. Now, where are those film shoots coming from? They're flying in from LA. They're flying in from New York. So you meet those people in your town. So if you're in London, you're right there. If you're in Sydney, you're right there, right? But if you're in the United States, it's huge, right? You know, like Chicago or like Orlando or Pittsburgh. There's people that are flying in to shoot there. You meet those producers and directors and camera people. In fact, somebody just posted yesterday, last night at 10 o'clock, I was talking to somebody, and he started in Denver. And he met the producer and assistant camera guy on the shoot that came to shoot in Denver. And he's like, hey, dudes, I'm going to be moving to LA soon. When I come out there, do you think that we could work together? And they're like, yeah, give us a call. Well, he did. And he was on his first shoot over the weekend. Yeah. So it happens. And it happens all the time. I mean, this is how it happens. It really doesn't happen in any other way. You got to know somebody that's going to hire you. I mean, that's what we're doing, is just creating that situation happening a lot. Okay. Allison says, is the conference call always going to be at 10 a.m.? No, we move it all over. We move it to 9 a.m. on Saturday. We do it on Fridays. We do it on Mondays. In fact, I might have to move this one on Sunday, this coming Sunday, to Monday, because they may shoot on Sunday now on this shoot, because I got a huge shoot next week. I got to shoot this week. I got a huge shoot next week. So, it changes around. So if you cannot make it, then there's recordings, and you can just watch a recording. When you're starting off, you guys, you got your day, you got your job, 9 to 5, right? Usually Monday through Friday. And then you're trying to figure out, how do I transition into the film industry? You get on jobs, you implement the system, and you get on jobs at nights and on the weekends, okay? And then you get experience, and you get on a bunch of shoots, and you get fast, and you get good, and you know what you're doing, okay? And then what starts to happen is professional shoots start coming in, and they're going to offer you, like, hey, can you do this job? And you're just going to have to say yes or no. So you're going to have to take time off work. You got to do the job. Whatever you need to do, when you get that opportunity, you take it, because that's how you're going to transition. So, the transition part, as you're sitting here trying to figure out whether you're going to do this or not, the transition part always seems like a real big deal, but it's not going to be. Because once you start doing this, you're going to start getting, it's like, what's going to be part of your life is film shoots. And you're going to really be inching your way towards where you want to go, which is the film industry. So there will come a time where you're like, okay, time to quit the job and go full-time in the film industry. And it's different for everybody. But like all those people that you see on the case study page and on that one, page where they're showing their checks, they're talking about their jobs, they have pictures of themselves on set. There's like probably 600 posts there. All those people. They all transitioned from their job into the film industry. So you'll do it too. A lot of the stuff that you're worrying about today, it is going to go away. You're going to have still problems, like we all have problems, but they're better quality problems. You'll trade your bad quality problems of stuckness problems to better quality problems. Like, what do you do when two people want you for the same thing and you said this yes to this one and now another one comes in and this one would actually be better for what you want to do? How do I balance that? I don't want to piss these people off. I said I would do that, but now this came in. How do I do that? There's just going to be different things that will come up. That's all right. I'll help you. Kansas City is a really good market, actually. Bridget started there, and they have a lot of commercials happening there. Okay. From New York City, we'll be in Miami over the summer. You should work in Miami. You should work in New York City. Magic List is your hiring list. It is like what I did when it's really one of my secrets. People don't do this, but it's the list of everybody that's in your market that are professionals or people that you want to work, people you want to meet with, people that can help you. Okay, they go on your magic list. They are your future circle, and it's big. It's really big. And then you meet these people and you know about them because you research them. And it gives you such an advantage. You're doing more than what other people don't do, and people are just like super impressed. And it's how you move so fast. All these little things are little methods of why and how you move so fast. You just do exactly these things. You don't do like extra stuff that you've been doing now. You just do these things and they get you working. Cool. Voice acting. Well, it's just like music. A lot of the people that are out there on set can also help you with voice acting. They can refer you that work. They can actually hire you to do that work. We've had a lot of people that have gotten jobs, $500, $600 a day doing VO work, and they met them on set. Just think of it this way. There's all these people out there wanting to do all these crafts. Nobody's got relationships. Nobody's got connections. You get inside, you get them, you get the jobs. They don't. That's it. It's just that simple. France says, I've finished working on a 10-episode TV show. Great. I live in New York. Very busy market. How do I get seen or get it made by producers? Oh, okay. Sounds like you've written it. Get inside, get connected, start talking to people. Nothing happens cold out there. Nobody, you can send your stuff to all these people. They don't care. Nobody cares. They're all thinking about their own career. So if you've got like a script, if you've got anything you want to share with people and you're like, I really need to get this going, well, you must get inside. That's always going to be the answer. A-list program gets you inside, working with people. Then you have lots of conversations with them. It's very simple. There's ways of having these kind of conversations, and it all comes through making friends, thinking about them, being interested in their career, not only yourself and what you're trying to accomplish. It's very counterintuitive, but I'll show you how to come across in the right way so that you actually make film friends, and then they're going to look at your stuff. And then maybe they'll even do it with you. But it's going to happen through knowing people, not cold. Nothing happens cold. That's why there's so many bitter people out there, bitter writers, bitter actors, because they've been all trying to get in through cold. Make sense? So these jobs that you're learning how to get an A-list, get you inside, meeting people like they're right next to you. They're right next to you. You're working, you're helping with them. You're helping them. And then you joke, you make friends, you hang out at craft service, you go to lunch together. And since they're in the business, they're just have access to all these opportunities, you guys. So they're just able to give them to you, refer them to you. Hey, let's do this. Let's write that. Let's have a meeting. Let's get together with this person. My brother does this. My sister does this. You know, it is how you think it would be. But now you have a way to get in there and to do it, make it your life. Oh, have a great day. Great to see you. All right, talk to you later.